Since I've been retired from the funeral directors, I started to look for something to do rather than just get bored. And my friend who's in Northern Ireland, unfortunately, she had breast cancer. And after surgery, she was told to be careful what she washes with because of her operation, her scars, to use nothing at all that contained parabens, any chemicals, before it healed at least, as it's not good for her skin. So she looked all over for soap, etc., to be able to avoid using these chemicals, and couldn't find any at all. So the two of us decided to join forces, get together, and went on courses to learn to make our own. Successfully too. She's Casco and I in Northern Ireland, and I'm the soap corner over here in England. And we make various soaps, but the main thing about what we do is we don't use any chemicals in any of the process of any of our soaps or bath products.
We've been, me and my sister have been funeral directors for over 20 years, and in that length of time seen quite a lot of women's death that's been related to cancer. But of course in our age group there is nothing on the NHS, no mammograms or anything that could detect it, so going along the route of having the thermal image and detecting something in our age group was really appealing.
I first found out about thermal imaging from a friend who'd been to Rosa's clinic and had the experience herself. As she was telling me all about it, it seemed quite appealing, as at that time I was due a mammogram myself. Having already had in the past a mammogram, I found it to be quite embarrassing. I was one of many, just a number. It was a bit painful as well, to tell the truth. And then you go home and they'll let you know, and then you wonder how many weeks go by before they let you know, and whether you're going to get the result to you before you've stopped worrying yourself about it. So I thought, right, when my next one was due, instead of going down the NHS route and having the mammogram, and also after finding out how much radiation is given through a mammogram, I thought the sensible path would be to go for a thermal imaging, which I did. I contacted Rosa, made an appointment, went and had me thermal imaging done. Absolutely painless, not embarrassing one bit. Got me results within a few days. A full written report, which was nothing like I'd had before. It was absolutely fantastic, and no radiation at all, and that was the main point for me. No radiation. What the thermal imaging did do was it really gave me peace of mind to find out that I was very low risk for breast cancer. Made me feel a lot more comfortable, a lot more relaxed, and not having to risk the radiation to find that out as well was a bonus. And then of course I told Lisa about it. This is my middle daughter. She had been concerned about breast cancer, having experienced an awful lot of young deaths in the job that she does. So she thought, well, I'll take the plunge too, because there's nothing out there for me on the National Health. She didn't fancy the radiation either, so she booked herself into Rosa's clinic, and she also had a thermal image done.
It was just so easy, so laid back. Reassuring, the results were so quick afterwards. But in the line of work that me and my sister have done for so many years, the cancers that we've come across over the last 20 years in the young women are a lot more aggressive. People don't get the warning, they don't get the chance for any treatment, whereas in the elderly, they seem to be able to hold it back, slow it down, but because there's nothing to detect it in our age group, you've just got no chance of picking it up, whereas, with coming to the clinic, it was, I just feel like I've got peace of mind from it. Yeah, it was amazing to learn that nobody knows about it, nothing's advertised anywhere about it, and it's just word of mouth that we started to learn about it from you. I had my thermal image done as a birthday present, that was the best birthday present I've ever had. It was great. I've got 2 sisters, 3 daughters myself, and it would be lovely for them to grow up to a certain age where, they don't even get cancer, or cancer's, rarely heard of, whereas now it seems to be just so ripe in so many families.
It's early detection, isn't it? That's what it's all about, early detection.
Would nearly wipe it out, really.
It's a shame, isn't it, to think there's so many, especially young people out there
Yeah.
who don't know anything about
No.
it. And from my age group, the ones that keep going along the lines of the mammogram,
Yeah.
getting your breast squashed,
Yeah.
having to wait before you get your results.
Yeah, my results came through rapidly.
And then it's probably developed before it's been detected.
Yeah.
Whereas, especially your age, you start on the detection ladder.
Yeah.
And isn't it nice to have the feeling that you haven't got any growths, you haven't
Yeah.
got any cancer?
Yeah.
It is a lovely feeling.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
what's so annoying is, anybody you speak to about it didn't know it existed.
No.
It's not
No.
advertised anywhere. Wouldn't it be nice to go to the doctor's surgery and find leaflets like everything else you can
Yeah.
pick up, take home and read?
Yeah.
I mean, you read...
Should be available to everybody.
Yeah, you've got your charity leaflets and everything else
Yeah.
everywhere, especially in doctor's surgeries, and yet there isn't one that you can pick up on thermal imaging
No.
to tell you can have this early detection, and also that there's no risk,
No.
no risk to it whatsoever.
No.
Do you remember when we went to the clinic though? Not only did we have the thermal imaging, we got the education with it, didn't we? Do you
It
remember?
was like having a life coach.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
if you can pull an apple off a tree, rub it on your jumper and eat it, you're eating the enzymes that's important within the fruit,
Yeah.
rather than go through mass produced, being washed probably in chemicals, and then produced on the supermarket shelf. Organic is the way forward. Too many have had the breasts removed, haven't they, unnecessarily? Too many have had them removed because they never had the early detection. They never got the chance to have
No.
it treated earlier. It's just a question of remove the breast, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's all right saying that, unless you're the one that owns two, and now you've lost one through not being able to have early detection.
Yeah.
So you're left with the thought: why wait for breast cancer till you've got it? Because once you've got it, you then have to go through the treatment, etc., etc. The peace of mind you get with the thermal imaging is they detected it at its very early stages, and to detect it earlier has got to be a bonus.